Is it possible to be charged with third-degree murder just by pointing a BB gun at a cop? Well, in Florida, it seems very likely. So let's just get into this video.
She forced this shooting. She knew if she pointed this gun at my deputies in the middle of the night, that we wouldn't return fire to keep her from killing one of our deputies.
3 arrested after Polk County deputy was shot, killed by friendly fire. A Polk County Sheriff deputy was killed early Tuesday morning in Polk City when fellow deputies opened fire on a suspect who pointed a weapon at them. Deputy Blaine Lane, 21, was one of the 4 deputies sent to 4345 Foxtown South in Polk City about 3 a.m. Tuesday to serve a warrant for Cheryl Lynn Williams, age 46. Williams was wanted for a failure to appear on a felony methamphetamine charge, and the sheriff's office received a Crime-Stopping tip at 2 a.m. that she was at the residence. When deputies arrived, they knocked on the door and 2 men told them Williams was around back. When the deputies went to the back, another man confronted Williams was there and allowed them in. While Sergeant Michael Brooks and deputies Johnny Holsomback and Adam Pennell went into the back of the house, Lane took a tactical position at the front of the residence in case Williams attempted to flee. Deputy Lane angled himself so he can see the front door, a set of windows, and so the suspect inside couldn't see him outside. While the deputies were searching the house, Williams stepped in view with a silver handgun and pointed at the deputies. Brooks and Holsomback fired 6 shots, striking Williams twice. At that time, Lane reported he had been struck in the arm. He was taken to Lakeland Regional Health Medical Center, where it was determined the bullet that hit him in the arm also entered his chest through the side. He died at the hospital. Williams was also taken to a local hospital for multiple gunshot wounds but was in stable condition. Now this is where this situation get controversial, so I'm gonna roll these few clips and let y'all determine if this outcome is reasonable or do more people need to be held accountable.
I want to introduce you to Deputy Sheriff Blaine Lane. Deputy Lane is 21 years old. He went to the police academy in September of 2020. I swore him in as a detention deputy in May of 2021. And just 8.5 months ago, in January of 2022, he was transferred to patrol as a deputy. He was eager. He was brilliant. He learned, he absorbed information like a sponge, and he was careful when he did his job. This is Cheryl Williams. She's 46 years of age. She's a cranker. She had a failure to appear warrant, a felony warrant, for possession of methamphetamine and possession of paraphernalia. Well, the Sheriff's Office received a Crime Stoppers tip this morning. We received this tip at about 2:07, and they said, hey, we can tell you where Cheryl is. She's at 4335 Foxtown South in Polk City. So about 2:24, Deputy Sheriff Holsomback, Deputy Sheriff Lane, Deputy Sheriff Pennell, and Sergeant Brooks went to the area to arrest her. So let me give you a synopsis of the events. This is the best information we have at this point. Every bit of this information is subject to change as the investigation goes on, but we want you to know, we want the community to know the best information we have right now. So as the 4 deputies approach the front door, there is 2 men in this mobile home. We'll call the first one witness A, and we ask where Cheryl Williams may be located. He said she's around back. They meet another man at the back door, and we say we have information that Cheryl Williams is there, and he said yes, she's here, come on in. At that point in time, Deputy Lane goes back to the front of the mobile home and takes up a tactical position so that he can watch windows and the front door in the event our suspect, who's already on the lam, decides to run. The position that he's taken is not in front of any doors or windows, but he's angled so that he can see the front door, he can see a set of windows, and he's where people inside can't see him. So if the suspects wanted to attack or shoot out of the house, they can't see him. He also has the advantage that there's some old refrigerators positioned so that if he were to take gunfire, he could go for cover. While Deputy Sheriff Holzenbach, Deputy Sheriff Pinnell, and Sergeant Brooks enter. As they enter, you've got to understand this is kind of a maze. So they come upon a room, and when they look into the room as they're clearing the house or the mobile home, they don't see anyone. So as Holzenbach is moving further so he can look more completely into this room, Cheryl Williams, this person, steps into view holding this firearm and pointing it directly at the deputies. Two deputies, at this point in the investigation, we believe only two deputies fired. Sergeant Brooks and Deputy Holzenbach. She struck at least 2 times and she goes down, and at that same time, Deputy Lane says, "I'm hit." We believe at this point in the investigation that 6 shots were fired. He shot in the arm, his vitals are good, everything's fine. When we get to the hospital, and as they're treating Deputy Lane, we learn that the shot that went into the shoulder went into the chest cavity, and he died. Williams is currently under arrest at Lakeland Regional Health and under security. She's going to be charged with, among other charges, second-degree felony murder. So she's gone from a felony, a third-degree felony warrant for possession of meth, to a second-degree felony murder charge, where it's our goal to see that she's incarcerated for the rest of her natural life. Did I tell you this gun was a BB gun? Did you hear what I said? It was a BB gun. It is my belief at this early stage of the investigation, she clearly and unequivocally put us into a gunfight with her and or a suicide by cop. She carried that gun into the room and then immediately pointed it at the deputies as soon as she saw them. But it is obvious at this stage of the investigations that one of the deputies, either Sergeant Brooks or Deputy Holzenbach, fired the fatal shot. Now I want to clear up for those questions that when they approached to go into the mobile home looking for our suspect, of course the deputies have no idea where she is in this mobile home. Deputy Lane has taken a very sound, secure cover position, and he doesn't know where they are on the inside. What's the statistical probabilities that the conflict would be directly beside where he was standing? Had he literally been standing 3 inches in or 3 inches back, the round would have missed him. But he wasn't.
Now, from my understanding, it was an accident. Okay, I understand it was an accident that a fellow officer shot another officer. But to completely just charge Williams with second-degree murder and no other officer that actually fired the fatal shots have any consequences so far is mind-boggling to me. Like, these officers keep getting off even when they do wrong. He clearly said that one of the 2 officers that fired is who shot Deputy Lane. Deputy Lane is dead right now, and the person that actually killed him have no consequences being thrown at them. Williams is all to blame, which is, understandable, because she caused the situation to happen, but she didn't shoot nobody. She didn't fire a single shot. So for her to be pinned with second-degree murder and nobody else is responsible is crazy to me. It really is. I don't know. This is me, but I feel like the 2 officers that shot should be held accountable in some type of way. They shouldn't just get away with this because of the situation it was in. One was a veteran officer, and I'm pretty sure the other guy been on the force for a while too. They should have better control of the situation. Now, I'm not going to sit here and ignore the fact and act like I don't know being an officer is the risky job, or that I would have did better in a situation. But everything shouldn't be pinned on her. She didn't shoot nobody. She didn't even have a real gun. She had a BB gun. And I feel like the family of Blake Lane deserve a little more justice than that. Like, am I tripping? Like, am I making sense? Because this whole situation just don't make sense to me. The officers should be held accountable, period. And I'm not talking about just being discharged or not being able to receive pensions. I'm talking about like some type of jail time. People kill people every day on accident, and they are fully charged and held accountable to the fullest extent. It shouldn't be no difference because it was a police officer. Situations like this is why many people have problem with law enforcement, because they get treated differently. If anything, they should be held up to the highest extent. Now, I understand at the end of the day, they just like everybody else. They have emotions and feelings and have fear too. I get that. I really do. And I sympathize with that. And maybe somewhere down the line in the future, the 2 officers responsible for his death will face some type of consequences. But as of now, with the information that has been released, it doesn't sound like it. It doesn't sound like they're going to have any repercussions. But that's just my opinion. Let me know how y'all feel about your situation. Should more people be held accountable? Should Williams even be charged with murder? Let me know what y'all think.